into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
How deep is your love? Is it like the ocean? What devotion?
Hello, AfterBuzzers! We were very excited. I hope you liked our amazing dance intro there. We're here for the SNL After Show. Season 41 has just kicked off. It's very exciting. I'm your host, Kim Crossman. I'm joined by my best friend and most amazing epic human.
Hi, I'm Katie Wilbert.
And you can find me on all of social media at Kim Crossman.
And you can find me on all social media items at Katie Wilbert.
So we're very excited to be here. The kickoff of SNL was last night. It's a new season. We've got a new kind of trialing castmate as well, which is very exciting. Overall, what did you think as a season launch?
I freaking love this episode.
Great.
I'm so excited for this entire season. If the season is going to continue being like what this episode was like. I laughed so hard. Even our producers were like, you were laughing the whole time. It must have been a great episode. It was, in my opinion. I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was great too. I think that, everyone got some screen time. There was some great elements. It was a good combination of everything. And I think they definitely came out of the gate running. I did notice there were a few articles going up saying that their ratings weren't as good as they had hoped for. But then I'm not sure. I don't know how that kind of, or why that would be, or maybe just season launch and stuff like that, or it's just
I guess I'd be
viewing
curious,
going down.
Yeah, if it has anything to do with just more people streaming than they are actually watching live TV now. Especially, SNL comes on late, so...
Yeah,
if you're like me, you go to bed early and then you watch it on Hulu or some other streaming network, or you've recorded it. So I don't know. Do they tally that in?
I'm not sure how they book the rating. I'm just, it was just one of the things that came up that they were, not stoked on their ratings. But hey, I thought it was a great show. I think it's going to be a great season. It's going to, obviously, with the elections and stuff coming up, SNL is going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
So they gave us a taste of that. We started with the cold open with the Donald Trump kind of thing. What did you find? What do you think?
I found that Taryn's impression of Donald Trump was spot on.
His bitchy resting face.
It's so good.
I wrote that. His resting face was perfect.
I guess I loved it as a cold open. I like political cold opens, but I especially like it when I feel like they're spot on. And I think there were a lot of funny things in it that was like off color, but he's off color. And one line in particular I loved was when his wife reminds him that his ratings have gone down since he hasn't said anything inappropriate, and he just shouts, "Mexicans are stealing our children." And I loved it.
So you thought his impersonation was great?
I thought so, yeah. I think his vocal tone was great, especially when he said huge. And like the lip, everything. I was on board with it. What do you think?
Are you excited to see more of this throughout, more of his Trump impersonations?
Yes, I 100% am.
I am too. I think it's very funny humor. Like their supremacy that they're playing, I really like. I like the reference to their gold apartment.
Yeah.
That she's in fact an immigrant. Being from New Zealand, I thought that the green card stuff jokes were quite funny. That sat well with me, and I thought it was a great opener. It did make me laugh. We were joking the other day about how, obviously, one of Katie's big goals is to get on SNL. That's like her goal. We were joking about the turnaround, or how she should do her audition by doing faux turnarounds. So
when Don Pardo always introduces everybody, and they're like, I'm in a bar just casually like hanging out with my friends, and there's a camera. We're dying. So if you guys have any suggestions for how Katie Wilbert should be posed in her intro in a couple years, let us know, because we'd love to hear your ideas.
She'll totally listen.
If you imagine me in a boat, then that's fine too, because I would happily be in a boat waving. And I don't know, just ideas.
So we have a kind of new cast member who you've been stalking on the internet. Tell me what you found.
So I've definitely been stalking John, whose last name I forgot, Rudinsky, I think. Because in a weird twist of events, I actually didn't even know that SNL had a new cast member until I had a friend who was trying to set me up with his friend. So we had
Please let them be watching this.
Hey.
Hey, boy who might date Katie.
So, yeah, we had a girls' night, and Kim's friend was like, wait, Katie, I think I have the guy for you. And so, like any hot-blooded female, I was like, well, I'm going to look up this guy and see if he's as funny as you say. And so I was looking up these videos, some of the stuff that... Why am I talking about this? Some of the stuff, some of the videos that
the new television.
Some of the stuff that they've done that our new SNL cast member has done, like the Jewish Hunger Games and stuff, was hilarious. And so I was watching this actor who's not the guy that they were talking about, but was like, oh, he's so funny, and then went to this link being like, oh yeah, he's the new SNL cast member, and I was like, I should obviously go out with his friend just to get details for the after show.
That's how committed Katie is to this show.
I really care about you guys, and I want to get the insight, so I'm going to date someone close to an SNL member just for you guys.
There you go.
I hope this never gets out. It's live now, so
it's done.
It's happened.
What did you think? Let's talk about John for a second.
Yeah.
What did you think? Because my opinion, and we'll get to the sketches specifics, but as a whole, what a great intro to the show. I felt like it was seamless. I felt like he added value. He's got really good looking.
Yeah, I know. That was my other thought. I was like, wait, but I find your friend attractive. You guys, this is already off. This relationship is off to a bad start. I'm like, I'm only getting close to you for information and to maybe date your friend. This is bad. This is very bad. No, I immediately laughed. He's very cute and he's very funny. I've watched all of his videos. It's fine. Anyways,
there we go. Huge fans.
This is all live and I can't take any of it back.
But what we can do is move on to talk about Miley Cyrus. What were your predictions going in tonight? So when you found out Miley was hosting, were you like...
I was like, oh, we'll probably see some crazy, but intentional crazy. We were talking about it when we were watching it. Like, I don't actually think she's someone who is genuinely insane. Like, she is smart about what she's doing. She knows how to get views and to get people talking about her. Like, it all feels very systematic. Girl had a hair microphone. It was just like a lot of cray, and I kind of expected it.
Yeah. I was expecting cray. I think what I'm seeing with Miley feels like 5 maybe years ago of Lady Gaga, like doing crazy stuff because that gets attention. And I guess when I thought that Amy Schumer was opening this season of SNL, she's actually next week. So when I found out it was Miley, I was like, oh, that's interesting. However, I know Miley's a great actor and a great singer, so I feel like we were in safe hands. And I was pleasantly surprised by her overall tonight. I think she added value in the sketches. I thought her songs, although not my taste in kind of music, this new album, she does have a great voice. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like she's very confident. And as far as, feeling like a show is safe in someone's hands, like she never broke. She was always committed. And yeah, she's a great actress. So, I mean, I know people are going to poo-poo her because I feel like most people have a very strong opinion of her one way or the other. But I feel like as far as a host goes, to carry a show, she did well. And like opening the song, singing and stuff. That's an interesting thing too, to know when you're in the spotlight and when you're supposed to just be a co-host and like let someone else have their moments. For her to be singing and stuff and then have the photos and stuff come up, I felt like she did it in a way that wasn't like hogging the show.
You mean when she
her monologue?
Yeah, so she opened to "I Did It My Way" and she sung it while the other characters kind of came out. That was interesting. Yeah, you're right. So she kind of happily was just doing her role in it. Yeah, part of a bigger piece.
Not in a way that was overpowering where you were watching her. I feel like it was an equal way to like show focus and was interesting. And I'm always like, about musical openings, but it's different when someone actually commits to it and has a great voice, or even if they don't have a great voice, you enjoy watching it because they're like kicking
like
ass
this.
at it.
I haven't seen them do that format for it. I feel like they're either making a parody out of the song or
Well, I thought it was
turning
a
it to
great
her.
way to go through all the stuff that we've missed over the summer that they don't have time to put into each individual sketch. So they're like, let's show all the crazy that happened over the summer. I thought it was a great way to do it because I was giggling every photo they showed because you as an audience member are aware of what's been happening in the news. So it's like an inside joke. You see the photo and you're like, oh my God, yeah, that bitch is crazy. So that's how I felt watching it, at least.
So we move on. The first thing to come out of the gates is the faux commercial for Abilify.
So good.
It's prescribed for 11 specific people, and it helps cure dementia. What did you think of this?
I laughed so hard. Yeah, well, I'm sure for everyone it's been a really interesting election season, and sometimes there aren't, I mean, not that I've been alive for that long, but like not every election has been this interesting. I think from the get-go, we don't even know who the front runners are going to be because obviously we haven't had the primary yet. So I think it's great that they did this because so many people are talking about it, and mostly everyone's like it's going to be Hillary and Donald Trump because no one else is talking about the other people. So I thought it was such a clever way to discuss the other candidates who, I mean, it said for people who think they can be president because that's crazy. And it's funny because it's true. Like at this stage, no one else is talking about you. Like I know a lot of people who are privy to Bernie Sanders at the same time. Like I don't hear his name come up that often. So it was just a really interesting, funny way to tackle the subject, I think.
I think it was a great way to tackle the subject also because like it feels like so many candidates, that you haven't heard from. And it's like one of the quotes was it like poo-pooing her husband saying, I didn't know, he doesn't know what day it was or even how the world works. Basically a bunch of stupid people thinking they can run your country, America. And I thought it was done really well.
I mean, what's your opinion as someone who's not an American citizen? I mean, because we've talked about this before, but I think it would be interesting for other people to hear your opinion not being a U.S. citizen.
Sure. So I'm from New Zealand, and I guess maybe, what America does has a huge effect on the rest of the world and who you choose, to lead your country or what you guys decide to do for anything immediately pulls the rest of the world in, whatever it is. So whether you're re-electing a president who doesn't deserve to be re-elected, in our opinion, from where we sit in the world, things like that are confusing to us. So it's very comical. I was back home last week, like people sit and they watch your election like, what's going on? Why is Donald Trump running for president and doing well? And it lays down a little bit further when Pete comes in and does this monologue, which we'll talk about in a minute when we go to Weekend Update. But this thing of like, it started as kind of this funny joke thing that people are like, oh, America, everyone's running. Now it's getting so close to actually being a real thing that I think everyone's getting a bit worried.
Yeah.
So
well, I think
I love how, maybe New Zealand and I'm only speaking from my own personal experience, so I can't speak for my country as a whole. But definitely that's the attitude or the feel of it being like, hey, it was funny. Now it's kind of not.
Like, what are you guys
who's
doing?
Who's going to run your country?
I think even we are going, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
It's silly. Anyways, I think the fact that we're talking about it as seriously as we are is proof that SNL is A, still relevant, and B, still tackling political sketches in a way that is topical, funny, and keeps you talking about stuff.
And I really like what they're doing with pulling like Hillary in for this episode, which we'll get to in a second. But stuff like that, I think full credit to SNL for tackling it as a topic and also taking the piss out of it and making fun of it at the same time was great. So anyway, we'll get to it in a second. First of all, we have the kind of Grease parody of Hannah Montana, who hasn't been from Montana for a very long time.
That's the only quote that I wrote down too.
Yeah. I love this. I'm a huge Grease fan. I love the characters. I love the dance moves. I love the shoo-ops. And love the gag of, she hasn't been from Montana for the first time. This is the first time we get to see Jon as well, really playing a role. I mean, what a great start to your SNL career. Your first big sketch that goes out to the nation, and you get whipped cream licked off your face by Miley Cyrus. Like, this
was
guy.
my exact thought, was like, way to go, Jon. She like stuck her fingers in his mouth and was like, you've been initiated.
Yeah.
But I also thought, I mean, and maybe this is because when they did the roll-in a couple years ago with Noel Wells and Brooke, I can't even say his name, so we're just, sorry, Brooke. There were like 6 new members, but this time it's only 1, and I feel like he's getting a lot more airtime than they normally would when you have so many new cast members. So I feel like kudos to him too, because there were so many sketches where I was like, oh, he's like actually a player.
Part of it.
Like he was a waiter in some scenes too, where he's being more of like a supporting sort of extra, but I felt like he was obviously being...
And he played the gag. He played the reactions
good.
right. He didn't pull focus from her when she was doing her hilarious raps, which were so out of place and offensive and funny.
So good.
I love the part where she's like, you'll have sex with me, then you'll have sex with him.
Keenan's like, ready to be dating? And she's like,
No.
yeah, I guess.
How would you rate that one? Like an A through?
The Grease parody, I would do like a B.
Sure. Yeah, I would give it a B,
I still
too.
think I think the political sketches were all A's for me in this one. So I feel like to try and top those, it'd have to be like pretty kick-ass. So I give it a B.
So we move to one that I know you watched this prior to us viewing the show today because you're excited about it.
Yeah.
Katie's a huge Chelsea Clinton fan because she's learned a lot about it and does a great Chelsea Clinton impression. So she's in on this world of the Hillarys.
Yes.
So this is the Hillary versus Val kind of sketch where Kate McKinnon plays Hillary Clinton with Hillary Clinton playing Val. Now, I'm going to get to specifics of what you think about it. My thoughts are, if you can imitate someone when they're in the same shot as you, same scene as you, literally right next to you, and you're still doing a kick-ass job, and, you know, it's passable, that is a very good impersonation. Like, I think Kate McKinnon is an amazing rock star, and the fact that she could be Hillary Clinton in front of Hillary Clinton and nail it was amazing.
I feel like I want to marry Kate McKinnon.
I kind of had that thought today too. I'm like, maybe I'd date Kate McKinnon because like she's great. But do you not agree? Like, I don't feel like you could put
100%.
that Donald Trump impersonation from the opening next to Donald Trump because I mean he's a parody of himself anyway. But they're too dissimilar. Where I feel like Kate McKinnon's isms were so on point that even real Hillary would do certain things that Kate had already done. And I'm like, oh gosh, she's a genius.
She's really good about capturing an energy about someone as opposed to just like Taryn's impression was great and you hear a word like huge and you're like, that's so funny, it sounds exactly like him. But I feel like a really good impression is more than just sounding or looking like someone. It's capturing an energy that we all can feel, but we can't exactly pinpoint.
Yes.
And I feel like what she does really well with Bieber, with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, with Hillary, is that she is somehow able to tap into these energies that we all recognize but can't say. And then when we see it, we go, you're doing it. And I don't even know what you're doing, but you've got it. And so I think it's really special. It's something she does that not everyone can do. And yeah, to be able to hold your own next to the person that you're basically making fun of, I mean, was amazing. And I feel like Hillary, it was such a smart way to do this. And I much preferred Hillary being a different character than being herself next to like another Hillary or something. I felt like it was a smarter way to do it. And I think because Hillary is running as this like, I'm your friend and I'm here to change the world, like it was a perfect way to set it up. And I just loved this so much.
I loved Hillary's Donald Trump impersonation. How good was that though? It was really good.
I know.
Like kudos to Hillary. Yeah, like you're saying, coming in, kind of making fun of yourself. I wrote down that there was a couple of real moments.
Yeah.
There was some real moments, like when Kate McKinnon's like, yeah, but you should have passed gay marriage sooner. And she's like, I think it was okay. No, you shouldn't. And she's like, yeah. Like, there was a couple of real moments, like when she said, I would love to be president. She's like, yeah. Like,
me too.
There was a difference between her reading a cue card, and really being present and reacting how she would react.
I mean, she like laughed at that. She
even did like some singing, and she's like a boom boom boom.
It was so great.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's sort of the magical power of SNL, like going back to when Tina Fey was impersonating, and now I've completely forgotten her name. Oh, everyone knows, Alaska, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you look at that, and I feel like it made such an impression on the American public as a whole, and probably the whole world. But we had Sarah Palin. We had an entire opinion on Sarah Palin, and it almost was like you start blending the two together.
Yeah.
And when you think of Sarah Palin, you think of Tina Fey's impression of Sarah Palin, not even like Sarah Palin, the woman, the politician. And I feel like it's a similar thing that's happening. And if anything, without looking into Hillary Clinton's actual politics, it makes me like Hillary Clinton because of Kate's impression. And it's, again, that power of Saturday Night Live as a part of like American history and tackling politics in a way that can actually sway people's opinions. I would be curious to know if anybody else feels that way, whether or not. I do. Like, I could totally disagree with Hillary's politics, but I feel like watching Kate, I'm like, I feel invested in this person as a person.
Definitely.
It's very interesting.
Donald Trump did some retweeting on Twitter about her impersonations. So obviously, and of course he would have seen it. It would be stupid not to. But I thought that was interesting, and SNL retweeted it, so, or like favorited it.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Juicy.
So Miley Cyrus did 2 performances. In a nutshell, your kind of opinion of them?
I mean, I thought as far as like a musical performer goes, it was great. I mean, the costuming and whatnot, it's like shock value. So
we're going to call it Lady Gaga syndrome because I think that's...
Maybe you feel this. There is a difference. And I guess going to a Lady Gaga concert is an entire spectacle that drops you into this world that like takes you out of your own reality. I don't feel that with Miley. So in a way, and maybe it's the Disney star syndrome, it's really hard to break out of, like, once people make an opinion of you to change it. Lady Gaga came on the scene as Lady Gaga, and when you try to research who she was before, you can't find anything. So I feel like she created that idea of who she was before she was famous, and I think it makes a difference. Because when I watch Miley with like crazy hair and stuff, it feels like trying to do Lady Gaga versus already being an established kind of, or like Sia. Sia performs everything without seeing her face, but she did that before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I think the songs, like I said before, weren't like the style of song maybe isn't something that I'm drawn to, or maybe need to really sit and be listening to it and you know, appreciate the lyrics and stuff more. I think it was quite slow pace for what I would want to see in a fast-moving thing, but it was different and maybe not my cup of tea. But yeah, she sounded great. I mean, the dead pets thing, having your pets framed on it, part of me is like, that's a nice gesture. Do I think its place is in a late-night comedy show?
Maybe not.
But, you know...
Yeah, it was interesting.
I don't know what my emotions are on that. I think I was a bit taken aback by that being something that you might do.
I think it was just interesting. Yeah. I can't fault her as like a performer because she weeped and she's a great performer. She did. She cried, she commits, but it was just all around interesting.
Just a bit, interesting. Anyway, we'll move on to a Weekend Update because we're pushed for time. Weekend Update. I liked their banter. I felt like they seemed a lot more relaxed with each other this season. I felt like there was some breathing space for them to respond and interact, and I liked it. I felt like this is what we waited all last season for these guys to do, and now, you know, they give them a couple of months off, and they're great.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely found their relationship mojo together, which was really fun. And yeah, anytime they kind of pay each other out, or Michael's like, I didn't want you to do that one. You shouldn't have done that one.
Oh, the black hamburger type thing?
Oh, yeah, when he was talking about if he did blackface, it wouldn't go over well. And Michael's just like, oh, my God.
I begged you not to do that.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But I love those moments, and I feel like that's, as an audience, what you want to see, because it's not just about the jokes. It's about watching them say the jokes. With each other. I mean, that's what I loved about watching Tina Fey and Amy Poehler together, is you knew there was a relationship there and you could feel it, and it made it extra special to watch. Not just because otherwise I could just go watch any stand-up comedian do a joke by themselves, but that's not what Weekend Update's about. It's about the two people at the table together.
With their guests. They had the Pope, which I didn't quite...
It was pretty quiet, too, when he was doing it. There wasn't a ton of laughter.
not my favorite. Felt like I maybe just didn't quite pick up what they were putting down.
Yeah.
Except him, yeah, I don't know.
Being like a dope Italian pope.
Nice. That was even better than what they did. Pete's section, we touched on it briefly before. Maybe I just really liked what he was saying. I was
Me too.
It's funny and it's true.
Mm-hmm. I felt like him and Leslie's, I was freaking out the whole time because I was like, get it, girl, yes.
I wrote
so
my favorite
true.
Leslie's bit.
Yeah.
I was like, Pete and Leslie, this is my favorite monologue that you guys have done because it felt like you were just talking.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like, hey, I'm Pete, I have to be a stoner guy. Mm-hmm. And then they reference it, and I was like, okay, that's funny. But yeah, I loved everything you're saying. Like, around my friends, I have to be a Democrat. Around my grandparents, I have to be a Republican. I'm like, wow, that's so funny.
Yeah, there were so many truths that I just put yes to their rants. Like, yes, because I feel like
Loved
the whole
it.
time I was doing, like, church isms. Like, preach, go.
They did a faux trailer to the Millennials. Fox's new series, The Millennials. Loved it because guilty as
So
charged.
guilty.
Guilty as charged.
I wish I wasn't. And I watched the beautiful 20-somethings who feel entitled to success and love. And I was like, oh, God. This is how people feel about us. We're also two people who post like positive affirmations on our pages. And I hear from people like who get frustrated at it. Like, you're 20-something. What do you know? And I'm like, well...
Everything that I should.
Yeah, like teach
If
me.
not, I'll
I don't
learn.
know. I wish I wasn't such a millennial, but I know that I am. But I try so hard.
One of my
Not to
favorite
be.
lines was, I'm going to the south of France to get perspective.
Like the south of France.
And I think they played this well. I really liked this sketch. There was some stuff on Twitter about this whole concept being overdone. I don't think so. I think this was a clever way to do it in the form of a trailer. You had, the people playing against the older people who were like, I hate these kids.
Yeah.
Their voices were done great. Kate McKinnon did a great voice.
She
I
almost
loved her
sounded
outfit.
Jamaican.
And yeah, and I thought whoever did the wardrobe on, our new favorite person, John, his big beanie that looked like a nice beanie and like his ankles showing and stuff. I was like, there's detail in this that's pretty on point.
I mean, we go to a like super fancy, like everyone at the CW goes to this church, and when you walk in, it is like this grunge fashion show.
Totally.
And I felt like I was looking at the people that I often see in our super hipster hip
Definitely.
Beverly Hills church, and it made me laugh.
Yeah, totally. So I thought this was great. I thought the concept was great. I don't feel like this idea has been overdone, and it was cool. I liked it. You
Agreed.
liked it too? I liked how we finished. I'll never die, because we do think that we are literally. That was the tag.
We're
Like for him.
invincible.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry. We're like, we don't ever have to worry about money or anything because we're just gonna live forever. And what do you mean taxes? Like our generation.
Yeah.
Sorry for anyone who has to deal with our generation. I get it, and I'm in it. I am it.
We're sorry. We apologize on the behalf of every 20-something. The fake orgasm scene when Harry met Sally. So they repeated the joke that the condom busted 3 times. You laughed at it. I thought it was great. I thought they were going to heighten it, and I felt like, if anything, the first beat was the long one.
Yeah.
Shorter. I almost would have wanted to flip it and kind of... I don't know. It felt like it didn't really end this scene. Like, it had these couple weird moments that were funny, but like, I'll take the soup hot. I just kind of felt...
I guess...
I don't know if the structure fell apart or what.
I wondered if maybe, and I should actually go back and rewatch it, but I feel like it should have started with like a little less information, and it expanded into, I don't know, I was laughing, but yeah, I feel like there was something off about the way it expanded and heightened.
Because it didn't. It just played the same beat. I thought.
And maybe it's like not yelling all of them, or I don't know. I feel like there's ways to build in a way that you are feeling like satisfied with the build because it's being earned.
How sexual you're making these...
There's a way to build with satisfaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it started at a 10, and then it's really hard to go anywhere when you've already gone to a 10.
Yeah. Ayo.
You guys, I can't even make any more orgasm references if I tried.
Yeah.
Just everything I'm saying
Once
at this
you've
point.
reached a 10, it's hard to maintain it. This is so funny.
hard.
Yeah, I liked the concept. It was fun watching Leslie do that and everyone else, and the Kate McKinnon bit was kind of weird, but fine. But yeah, you're right. The structure of the sketch as a whole, I feel like maybe we missed some beats or something went too long. I don't know.
They blew the wad too quick.
Yeah. Ayo. So
Last one, promise.
Taylor Swift's Squad Goals. What did you think?
I laughed. I also, as I was telling Kimberly earlier, I wrote something this morning prior to seeing this that was a similar concept and was like, whoa, mind blown a little. Which is great because it tells you that you're like on the same consciousness of the world.
Yeah.
But because of, I liked it. My brain was already obviously in that space of being like, how hilarious that she's basically taking over the world. And I like that they did it in the guise of the Walking Dead parody. Yeah. I feel like it's also topical because it's coming back and it's something everyone's excited about and talking about. So I felt like it was a cool way to do that. I feel like it's true, everything that they were saying. Like, I don't know. It's like she's just friends with models and then, but what do they do together? Like have taco nights and brings them on stage sometimes. What do they do after? I think that's it. I don't know.
So
I thought...
funny. I think the concept of Squad Goals and stuff is great. I love the Taylor Swift stuff. I saw that she retweeted it, so she's obviously all about it too. Nice. And it does feel like everyone's just slowly starting to follow her, so it's great. It's wicked. Good for her.
I think so.
Good job, Tweet Sizzle, and good job, SNL. I thought that was a really funny, well-shot thing too.
Nice.
American Voices. I didn't really write a lot of notes about this. It was funny-ish. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite thing. I feel like it was kind of hitting the same note, and it felt a little out of place in terms of the whole show for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
My first note was like, oh, hi, Zashir. Like, good to see you.
Yes.
I think, I was like, where was she the whole show?
Not sure.
I feel like that's happened quite a few episodes in the last season that we're like, where has she been? I don't know. But it was nice to see her.
Yes.
I am also impressed that there was so much Leslie in the episode too, and really funny Leslie.
Yes.
Like was excited to see more of her, which was great. This sketch, I was laughing uncomfortably.
Yeah.
But I still really liked it. I feel like the main theme of it was like how Hollywood portrays black actors, and seeing Jay do the like, I'll make your pie, like, please smile. Like, and I love that they pointed it out. I also think that it's a real sensitive time for everyone in our country right now with there's just so much going on. And I feel like to not touch on it in a way is irresponsible and like not catering to a larger audience of people who want to talk about it and who need to talk about it.
Sure.
So I feel like it was good they included it. I don't know that I found it to be the funniest sketch, but I also enjoyed watching it and glad that they brought it up because I feel like even especially over the span of the summer, there was so much stuff going on with shootings and it just needs to be talked about. What did you think?
I agree with everything that you're saying. I think it is a sensitive subject. I felt like the comedy didn't hit me. It made me feel more like, this is an issue. What are we doing about it? What is Hollywood doing about it? I felt like it was more kind of, the comedy was lost on me a little bit. I think on a show, but then where do you place something like that? I don't know. So I kind of just put a big question mark going, I'm not sure where I stand on this or the purpose of it. Yeah.
But, there were a couple episodes where they were touching on, like, the riots and stuff like that But
I felt like those were paid off with quite funny gags that was really inclusive of everyone. This kind of ended like, I agree.
It was more pointed than funny.
Yes. Yeah. That's probably it.
Which is there's still okay. A place for that, too. But I agree. It wasn't the funniest sketch. And if anything, it left me going like, ooh, ow.
Yeah.
Like... I felt that, which isn't bad. It's just different for a comedy show. So I think it'll be a conversation that keeps being brought up. Sure. I would like to see it be brought up in a way that's even funnier, because I feel like that reaches you at a deeper level.
I think so, yeah. And I feel like they've been successful in that before, but then maybe this one just missed on me. And then the last one we had was this Kyle Miley fast-paced relationship that happens in the space of a 2-minute thing with Kyle as the lead.
He must have written this, right?
He must have written this. Yeah, I was like, it's so wackadoo that it has to be written by him. Mm-hmm. The concept was hilarious. Basically, they walk in, Kyle's getting married. He's like, she wants to marry me, give me all this money, give my friends this money. I make these great beats, and all of a sudden he's got a kid and whatever, and then he dies and, is a ghost all in the space of 2 minutes. Wackadoo, you're going to use Katie's word to describe it. Completely wackadoo, where I'm like, what? I don't follow. I don't get the gag he plays against.
The phrase I wrote was, what?
But for some reason, I loved it. I don't need explanations. I don't need justifications.
That's how I feel about all of his sketches, is I never fully understand the stream of consciousness of, like, the genesis of the sketch. Like, where did the thought come from? But I don't usually care. I'm just, like, excited to watch. I love any time that Beck Bennett is in anything with Kyle Mooney, because you feel the way they play off each other. And I feel like it's very different from anything you see. It's not like big, crazy characters. It's grounded in this sort of wackadoo
Bobby
reality.
Was great in it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I also think it was really funny coming out of having conversations with friends over the last week about relationships, and like how even when you find someone, like, people are just funny in relationships. It's hard to be like 100% happy all the time, and I felt like it was a funny way to show that at different stages in a relationship, where you're like, oh, now I have this perfect kid, and like people who do complain about things where you're like, oh, that's so great, like I wish I had the perfect baby and stuff. Like, I think it was a fun way. I don't even know if that was his goal, but I'm like probably looking into it way deeper than is necessary.
I think it was awesome. I love that he opened the door and Miley Cyrus is in a ball pit. Like, everything about it was so aspirational, and he's like, all I want to do is make these beats. Like,
she just wants to give my friends money all the time, and it's
so good.
I guess if you've ever listened to someone complain about a relationship that you wish you were in, it probably really resonated with you.
Yes.
But more than that, I just really loved watching Kyle Mooney be Kyle Mooney.
His energy and the way he does, like, he does awkward in a way that's not awkward to watch. It makes you want it more.
It's like a confident awkward, which is
so
really
weird.
Interesting and hard to pull off.
It's so unique. Like,
There's only one Kyle Mooney.
There is, and he's great. So next week, predictions. We have Amy Schumer in The Weeknd. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd, big fan of Amy Schumer. What do you think we can expect? Oh, we need our ooh music.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
The lights are flickering.
Predictions.
Ooh, how Halloween
it just was extra
was.
spooky this time.
I know.
Predictions for next episode. I mean, Amy Schumer. I think they're going to have bigger ratings. I think that will be true. I also always like it when a stand-up opens the opening monologue, because it will be stand-up. Did you see that Louis C.K. got nominated for his appearance on SNL for the Emmys?
What?
He was part of, I mean, they've already happened, and I don't think he won.
I
but
didn't
as like
know
a guest
that.
star on a live show. Because of his stand-up.
After he talked about doing it with kids?
Yeah.
What?
But I thought that was really interesting, and was kind of excited because I know we really enjoyed it, even though there was a lot of
controversy. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So I will be excited to see what she does. She just won an Emmy, and I'm so excited for her because I am a huge, huge fan.
Yep. We both are.
She's just amazing. So I think it's going to be nothing but great. She's also a really amazing actress. Like, yes, as a stand-up comedian, but
did we just fall off air? Ooh, it went quiet.
That was
a weird noise. Anyway,
The
yeah,
world just ended.
she is a great actor. She's gonna do great next week. I'm excited to see. I wonder how much she'll take it into the gutter and where the line will be for her. And I think that she'll be forced to push a little bit, like Louis C.K., like use it as a platform. You know, she's already out there enough. So what is she gonna do to really take this to the next level? Because that's her opportunity. So I'm excited to see what she does. Well, thank you guys for joining us. It was amazing, great episode. We're really excited for next week. Remember, you can tweet us during the week too. Use the hashtag ABTVSNL. I'm Kimberly Crossman. You can find me at Kim Crossman.
I'm Katie Wilbert, and you can find me at Katie Wilbert.
We're best friends. We love you. We love SNL, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.